Hello, my name is Tiffany and this is my channel, Thriving Lively. Today I am going to talk a little bit about the Starch solution and give it a kind of review. I've been doing it for a little over 7 months, and so I just thought I would kind of talk about a lot of the things that I see on the forums, like on Facebook, some of the questions or things that people like comment on, and just kind of my overall like feeling of this way of eating. And so I'm sure everyone is familiar with it, but the Starch solution is a plant-based whole food, no oil diet or way of eating. And it is based around starches as your main like calorie source, with, you know, lots of non-starchy veggies and fruits. And in the actual Starch solution book, he kind of labels any kind of starches that you could have as, you know, breads, pastas, rice, cereals. There's a lot of like semi-processed food on there. And then he also has a program called McDougall's Maximum Weight Loss. And that's actually the one that I follow. It is briefly talked about in the Starch solution book, but there is a little bit of a difference because in the Maximum Weight Loss, you are sticking to more whole foods. There's very little processed foods that you're eating if you're wanting to hit that maximum weight or maximum weight loss. And so one, does the diet work? Yes, it is. Any diet works as long as you're in a calorie deficit. And this definitely can get you in a calorie deficit. And one reason why it is different than, say, like, you know, keto or low carb is that you can eat like pounds of food during the day and still remain in that calorie deficit. You are eating lots of potatoes and rice and, you know, green and non-starchy veggies and fruits. And the amount of it that you can eat while staying in a calorie deficit, it's a lot of food. And that's one reason why it works so well, because everything you're eating is very low calorie density. And that's one big thing that the book entails. It doesn't really talk, it doesn't go into depth that much about it. And that's like one thing I wish it kind of talked a little bit more about. But calorie density is a big factor in weight loss, and just doing it in a really sustainable way. I don't know, you don't feel like you're dieting ever, which is really great. So I have been doing it for about 7 months, and I have lost a little over like 13 pounds. I am in my healthy weight range, and so like everyone has their own, you know, like how tall you are, how high you are, how tall you are compared to like your weight, whether you're in a healthy BMI or not. I think my BMI is like 23, which is healthy. I still have some pounds to lose if I really want to, but I'm definitely in an area where my weight loss has slowed down quite a bit, and that's okay with me. One other thing that this way of eating has brought me is my health. And if you've seen any of my other videos, I talk about this a lot because I have a few autoimmune issues. I have Crohn's, I have asthma, and I have PCOS. And so I don't have, and I was diagnosed with lean PCOS. Also, if there are any ladies out there that have been diagnosed with PCOS, I know there's a slight difference with regular PCOS and PCOS with like your sugars and everything, but I was diagnosed with lean, which just means that I can't control it with my diet, like my weight loss. But with the actual diet part, I have seen a big difference. One of the questions I often see on Facebook, I'm in a couple of the groups, and a lot of the questions are the same for everybody, because I think we've all been brought up in this diet culture where we're not supposed to eat and we're not supposed to, you know, like overindulge. There's all these rules around eating, and one of the questions that's often asked is it okay to snack? What do I snack on? I can't stop snacking. And I think something that you kind of learn as you keep eating this way is that if you're filling up with these foods, you're not going to feel so hungry all the time. And if you, like, at 3 o'clock or at 2 o'clock, you wake up and I nap. If you are just hungry, then you just have a snack and then you're done. And then when you get hungry again, you eat. It's not something that is going to hinder your weight loss, and you're not going to regret it because you had, some more potatoes, or you had an orange, because an orange isn't gonna make you fat, and you're not going to have that guilt that comes along with it. So it's just kind of learning or relearning, what you're supposed to do with your body and with food. And food is meant to fuel your body. It's not supposed to be something that we're scared of or that we have to limit ourselves on. It's something that, we are supposed to use for the function of our everyday lives. And I think with the starch solution, or just a high carb diet, like a high starch based diet, you really learn that, and it's very freeing because, I went to Weight Watchers when I was 15, and I have counted calories for years, and then I tried doing all raw till 4. I've done lots of different things just to try to find that, like, secret to, just having a normal body weight. It's not beer and pretzels. I do know that, but I do feel like this has really freed up, like, my mind and just my relationship with food. So I definitely think that the starch solution works. I did count calories in my 20s for a very long time. I was at my lowest weight when I was like 25. I only ate 1,200 calories a day. It was before everyone had, like, apps on their phones. So I carried around a calorie counting book with me, and everything that I ate, like, I would look up, and I had a little journal that I kept with me at all times. And I wouldn't, like, go out to eat with my friends. I wouldn't do, like, just little things, so that I wouldn't be able to figure out what was in that, like, meal. I wouldn't be able to go to Red Robin and be like, well, this hamburger, because it was before all that stuff was published. And so just thinking about that, and how, like, not that I had an eating disorder, but I definitely had a disordered way of, like, thinking about food and eating and, like, what I was doing to my body. I don't know, it's really nice to have the knowledge now and have found this, so I don't have to live my life that way, I guess. And I've always, like, worked out. My mom kind of introduced me to running when I was 14 because our school was too poor to have a first period for freshmen. And so instead of just, like, sleeping in, she made me get up and go running with her. And so I would try to use, like, exercise as a weight loss tool, and it never really worked. I always got, like, fit. I've always been very, like, muscular. That could be, PCOS, I think, you usually have more testosterone, so that could have something to do with it as well. But I've always had just a little more athletic build, but it never really equated to losing weight or being slim. And so now I work out to build muscle, and I work out because if you don't, your body will deteriorate as you get older. And so I look at things a lot differently. I'm not punishing myself for eating. I'm not depriving myself of food. I'm trying to, really live in a healthful way, in a thriving way. And this, finding this way of eating has really contributed to that. So anyway, another question that's always on the forums is about, fats. And I always use flax every day in my oats. It hasn't hindered my weight loss. Things that hinder my weight loss are if I decide to try to limit my carbs, because I did that for a while where I was like, I want to lose weight faster. And so I started limiting my carbs during the day, or my starches. I shouldn't just say carbs, but I started limiting my starches, and it made me, have cravings. And so once I stopped doing that, my cravings went away again and I started losing again. And so I do eat, sometimes I'll have like 2 walnuts and a couple of pistachios, because I try to feed my girls nuts every day, and so I'll take some of theirs. I have a little bit every day. It's not that big of a deal. I'll probably add more once I'm more comfortable with where I'm at and maintaining. But while you're losing weight, you can still have some fats. It's just knowing that they are, with calorie density, they are more dense in calories than your starches and non-starchy vegetables and your fruits and legumes. And so fats aren't bad. You don't want it to get it from oil. You want it to actually like contribute to your health some other way. And so if you want to have, flax in your oatmeal, or you want to have some nuts, I really feel like that's something that people kind of overthink. It's like you can just have a little bit, get on with your day, eat the rest of your meals like following the starch solution, and you will be fine. Obviously, if your weight stalls, you're doing everything perfect, then look at how much fat you're adding into your diet. But for me, it's like I started needing to lose around 10 or 15 pounds, and it literally came off so fast. So, and I didn't stop eating my like flax, and I still had some avocado every day or some nuts. So I don't think that it's as big of a deal as people make it out to be with themselves. Like, we overthink things so much. And so I think that you can be a little lenient with yourself on that if you feel like you need it. I know supplements is a really big one. I take supplements sometimes. I have Crohn's, and so my body doesn't absorb nutrients very well. And so I take a prenatal vitamin. I'm also still breastfeeding my daughter. I will be stopping that though soon. But I know everyone talks about B12 and like DHA and your D3. Definitely get tested. Just, if you talk to your doctor, or you can just email your doctor and just be like, hey, I eat a plant-based diet. I was told to look for this. They should get put an order in for a blood test. But if you are used to taking something, just continue taking it. I don't really think that you have to be 100%, follow all these directions just to consider yourself someone that follows the starch solution. If you feel like it's giving you something, then definitely keep taking it. But it is really beneficial to go see a doctor about it, because there's no way to know if you're deficient in something unless they test you. And so like I got my B12 tested, and because of my liver problems, my B12's too high, and I don't take a supplement for that. So I don't know what that means. I don't actually think I have sufficient B12, but there's no way for them to tell if it's because of my liver or if it's because I'm eating dirt. So, because B12 is bacteria that is in dirt. That's why animals have it and we don't anymore. So yeah, those are the biggest things that I see on the forums. And so I just kind of thought I would give my take on it, because I'm an expert. And that is my very quick and rambling review of the starch solution. If you haven't done it, I suggest you just go for it. Just jump in, do it. Watch all the YouTube videos you can find, High Carb Hannah, Plantiful Kiki, Healthy Emmie, the Hungry Vegan Mama, and I think the Vegan Mommy. Those are all really great ones. There's other ones running on plants. There's so many YouTubers out there that have amazing channels, and they have amazing recipes. They put together very simple meals. There's tons of information in the forums. I actually joined High Carb Hannah and Plantiful Kiki's course, or their program for weight loss. It's Eat More, Weigh Less, and I find it to be extremely beneficial. I don't know, I'm like a geek and nerd about nutrition, and so I really like to be a part of that. I like to hear other people's experiences, and I like to learn how people are coping with certain things. And I think they did a beautiful job with their program, and They are really active in it and they update it all the time. And so if you're struggling or if you don't really know where to start, that is an awesome place. Chelsea May Cullen, almost forgot her. She has a program out as well, and she's a wealth of information. She also has a podcast, which is really good. I listen to every Sunday when I'm cleaning my kitchen or, doing yoga or something. So there's, tons of information out there. But if you have any questions, comment below, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to follow me in my journey. I'm also on Instagram at thriving_lively. I will link that also. Do you see my dead plant? It's so sad. My husband killed it. Anyway, have a wonderful week. I will see you guys in my next video.